cer.
We continue the explanation about the Bodhisattva Kailavatara, and we are reaching tonight the fourth chapter. As a brief reminder, the awakening mind is this deep inner engagement into reaching spiritual development for the sake of the other, for the benefit of the others. So to engage all one's activities, spiritual development, spiritual engagement with one aim, which is how to help the others. When we walk on the spiritual path, we have the opportunity to develop ourselves, our mind, to reach some level of realizations, and ultimately to reach liberation. So to reach a state when our mind finds total peace, complete, unconditional peace. But so many other beings remain within suffering that when we think about our own peace, our own achievement, we generate this wish to do not enter into this unconditional state of peace without all the other sentient beings, thus generating what we call the awakening mind, mind for awakening. So in the previous chapter we have seen how to adopt this awakening mind, how to firmly make the decision to live by this awakening mind, understanding its importance for our spiritual development, understanding its importance for the sake of all other sentient beings. And the fourth chapter is more close to applying the awakening mind. Previously I understood how important it is. I make the firm decision. Now I really wish to generate this awakening mind and practice by it. And this chapter is I shall not remove myself from this wish. I shall develop the most stable perseverance into my wish to develop awakening. We are making an important step, which is to pass from our motivation or our wish to into doing, into making all the necessary effort that our mind will progressively change from the type of egoism in which we have been for lives and lives into progressively engage, practice, serve the benefit of others. Once we have made this commitment, once we have decided, now I want to follow the Bodhisattva path, I want to engage on the path which leads to Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings, it would be an extremely serious downfall to withdraw at any moment, any circumstances, because we didn't make just a promise for ourselves. It is not like, okay, I will stop to eat chocolate tomorrow because it makes me fat. Yeah? It's not this type of engagement that we withdraw. It's we promise to all sentient beings, present and future, that we will work for them. That since we don't know who else is working on the Bodhisattva path, I will. For sure, I will. How is it possible that tomorrow we say, oh, I'm tired, today I don't work anymore for the benefit of the others, just for myself? 1 second of thoughts in this way is a serious downfall for a Bodhisattva. If while we have good circumstances and very precious human rebirth, we start already to doubt of our capacity to engage on the Bodhisattva path, it will become in the future very difficult to progress on the Bodhisattva path whenever the circumstances will be slightly more complicated or slightly more difficult in our way to practice, in our way to engage for the benefit of the others. We have accumulated all the causes for this precious human rebirth, right? We have a human rebirth, which is already an achievement in itself, but not only that. We have full qualities, full capacities of mind and physical, and the inability to understand the path, understand the practice, understand how to progress on the spiritual journey. So having achieved that, having obtained that, we understand as well that we don't know if in the next life, for example, we will still be on the same way with the same facilities. Why? Because the next life depends on how we act in this one. So once we find the Bodhisattva path and we engage on the Bodhisattva path, we should remain on that path. This is also what will ensure that in the next life we will continue to progress on the spiritual journey for the benefit of the other. Since we have stepped on the higher path towards enlightenment, it is also clear that the main difficulty or the main enemy that we are facing are not the others, as we tend to think, are not from the outside. Whatever is outside is rather easy to control, and it's rather easy to understand also the non-inherent existence of obstacles that we encounter outside. You know, in this case, what is to be understood is the main enemy, the main source of trouble lies within ourselves. It is what we call the mental afflictions, the different disturbed mental states, disturbed emotions. These are the real enemies that we have to watch upon. So once we decide to engage into the path, these are what we have to look after. These disturbed mental afflictions. They are the ones able to really disturb your progression, really able to change your state of mind, therefore undermining your perseverance, undermining your patience, undermining your loving kindness. And by undermining this positive quality, making you unstable. And this instability is what can bring you to accumulate the downfall of quitting or slowing down your progress on the Bodhisattva path. So these have to be regarded as the main focus in our daily practice. We have to keep always a close look at how our mind is working, what is happening within the mind, and especially what is happening within the mind which can disturb our practice. Until all these disturbed mental factors are pacified, transformed, purified, how can we really rest? How can we really focus on enjoyment of the existence? Since at any moment we can be stabbed in our back by this kind of emotions. So we need to keep a constant focus on how the mind works, on what kind of thoughts, emotions we are producing, avoiding to be disturbed and destabilized off the path.